You can say, hey guys, could you talk about this? So if you're thinking about it, if you're looking at that, you don't have to be on camera, trust me guys. We know, look, our faces aren't even suited for it, but it's what we do. So, you know.
Beauty queen.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
But,
adults over here.
so if anybody knows about some good technology and how to help out to broaden our horizons, hit us up. You know where to find us. You know where to find us. And by the way, for all those who are watching, I'm putting a heads up that we have taken a vote on this and we have talked about this. If you're on my page, Rick Jackson, if you're on that page, it's the only thing that is going to change is the name. We are changing the name officially to Sunday Morning Workday.
Okay.
For all those to know. So if you're on Facebook and you happen to be, you're looking for Rick Jackson, you probably won't find it. It's going to end up saying Sunday Morning Workday.
Right.
So probably sometime today, I'm going to edit that to say Sunday Morning Workday. For those who know me or that, look, you know who I am anyway, so it doesn't matter. You'll get in contact with me. So it's basically, that's the way it's going to be, because I don't use social media that much anyway, except to talk to who we talk to. And so we're going to just change that to that page. So just to give everybody a heads up, that way when you see Sunday Morning Workday, if you see that, don't think that if you're still trying to contact me.
Yeah, it's going to go straight to the page.
I'm still there. But we're trying to do some things. We're trying to boost this program, and in the process of that, we've got to do some things also to level up a little bit to get more quality out to you.
So whatever we do to boost us is just gonna boost the ones that we're already sponsored. So
Yeah.
and get them out there more too.
And any
We're
other
back on YouTube now, by the way.
any other sponsors that may want to?
People who want ads, I've already talked to one
Okay.
person, and one person that we all know very well is going to send me some stuff to do out for them.
Okay.
Miss Mary Haley.
Okay. All right. Good for her. Oh, I do have
So
a.
Mary, yes, because I told her to send me some stuff with her business. She's going to do that, and we're going to hook her up too. You know, that's a home girl. She's from here.
She's a stroll. Ben don't know her.
Okay. Is it a local business owner, basically?
No, but she's a home girl.
She's a hometown. She's a Strasburg native.
Okay.
And if she
Alright.
and any of us, you know, I knew her brothers, I knew her,
Okay.
and so you know,
All right. Well, that sounds
that's-
good. You know, hopefully she can.
we're in the business of helping
Day.
people we know, and we're in the business of boosting the community.
Right.
And so not only just doing this, but to boost the
Right.
community, and so if we see somebody, even if they're out of state, like Roger, you know, out of state, if there's somebody we can help out, we're going to help them out. That's the job.
Yeah.
That's the deal. That's what we do.
That's the dealio. So.
And now, so we can get back
All
to
right,
some
so let's
stuff.
get back to the show here. All right. If you want to look up a story I saw the other day, and it's out of Loudoun County. It's $4 million buyout offer to Ashburn Community targets 143 homes, Regency suburb of Loudoun County. They're offering these homeowners $4 million as a buyout. We're going to get into the reason why here.
Oh, sure, it's gonna be friggin' data centers.
Exactly. So I'm thinking it has to be data centers or something. How many, don't they have enough already?
Dude, they're gonna take over everything.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is what's happening to this area. It's turning into New York City. There's like a 3-bedroom apartments down there being built right now, condos.
Loudoun County buyout.
$2.4 million for a 3-bedroom condo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Isn't that? And a 1-bedroom is $800,000. $800,000 for a 1-bedroom condo in Loudoun County in this new
They're wanting
complex.
$300,000 for a 2-bedroom house in Strasburg now.
I did see that.
I mean, so it's not like nowhere is affordable living anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I see people living in the woods right now in tents. I've seen it with my own eyes right now. Right now.
I mean, I'm just gonna come out there and squat on like 10 acres and take it over. I'll have squatters' rights. How long do I have to stay there for squatters' rights?
I mean,
Let's
as
see
long
here.
as no one knows, that's a good thing. what is a squatter's rights? If you wanted to squat somewhere like an abandoned house or on an acre of land, what would be your saying? And it's actually, they're getting offers of $4 million for a buyout.
I don't think I'll make it.
Okay,
You got 15 years continuously, openly, exclusively, and without the owner's permission. I could probably hang out on a little 1 acre parcel on the back of your property for 15 years and you would never know it.
yeah, if
And then it
you,
would become
there's
mine.
there's areas up in the woods that I just,
Yeah.
just for deer hunting.
You would never find me.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, you ain't gotta worry about Rick doing it, because Rick ain't gonna live in the woods.
Would you live in the woods if you had to?
I had to.
Yeah, I think everyone,
You gonna eat squirrel and muskrat and shoot muskrats
I
out
mean,
of the creek?
there's,
Do you understand what living actually is? I mean, I do know how to fish, I do
Yeah.
know how to hunt, I just,
no, but the Loudoun County thing is $4 million. I just, if someone came here, knocked on your door, said, $4 million, would you leave? Yeah,
Oh, I'm gone.
I'm gone. If
Yeah.
you wanted to get away from all the hustle and bustle and the noise there,
I'm gonna squat on 3 acres of your property.
or go to Florida and buy a house and then just retire, right?
I'll just take it all in the casino and put it on it.
Oh, gosh.
Red 18, let her ride.
always bet on black.
Always bet on black, yeah.
What was that movie out of? What movie that come from?
It's familiar, I can't think of it right now.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley's nice.
Oh, you gotta meet all 5 requirements for a 15-year period. I must have hostile possession, actual possession, open and notorious,
Mm-hmm. Exclusive possession.
exclusive possession, that I was the only one living there,
No family, yeah.
and a continuous 15-year stay uninterrupted.
You gotta get that one,
Leave my cat alone.
Cameron.
You cannot, consequences and removal, you cannot use self-help methods like changing locks or turning off utilities.
Okay. Right.
You must file an unlawful detainer lawsuit to begin a formal eviction.
So, I guess a lot of people are doing that and saving money and just working 40-hour week jobs and.
If a squatter is deemed a
You think of how
trespasser,
much money you could save.
law
if you were
enforcement
squatting.
may remove them. If they claim to be a tenant, the case requires a court hearing.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's ways around the system, probably. Oh, yeah.
Best way to prevent it is inspect your properties regularly, secure all entrances with locks, and consider the security
Like, if you
cameras.
found an abandoned house that someone forgot about, okay, it's in livable condition, the windows are half knocked out of it, no water, just a couch, no TV, a couple mice here and there, rats, but other than that, it's fine. Would you live in it? I think I could, if I had to, yeah.
Kill the rats, because if you go to sleep, guess what they're nibbling on?
Your earlobe.
Unless, yeah, that's the problem. You would have to put, yeah, that would be,
Yeah,
unless you,
Because don't
there's
you
no way of
realize-
getting around, even if you hung a hammock up and slept in a hammock, it would still,
right, because they do know how to walk around me, man.
yeah, that
Think
wouldn't
about
work
that.
either, no.
Like I said, it's different. You gotta kill them first.
Mhm.
Yes, I could do that, but you gotta kill them first.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them.
Then guess what? It's
Where
inhabitable.
you spend all your money on shells, killing them, rat bait. Anyways, but
Then you got the stench.
so then it would be better off living in a tent in the woods rather than an abandoned house, right?
Probably.
I think that would be better off.
Davy Crockett did.
Get you one of them campus
Fireplace.
tents with the wood stove in it.
Yeah.
Little military tents where you put the wood
Right.
stove in it. You cook on it and everything.
Yeah, you be cooked if you roll the wrong way. I mean, so it's all good.
Yeah,
You can cook the rats.
yeah.
Nice
Exactly.
rat.
Rat stew,
Snake stew.
snake stew. Snake is not bad. I tried some. Gator meat's good too. I tried it in Florida.
How many rattlesnakes have you run through on your property?
In my lifetime, 6 of them that I can remember.
So
And
you're-
3
you're in
out of the
prime
6.
area.
3 out of the 6 were around in the front. Usually, when I was making hay in the waterway, they was coming down to get water. And I just bailed them up in the bail and they were sticking out looking at me.
And then you just let them go on about their day.
No, well, yeah, they're dead, the ones I saw, because they were crushed.
So 6 that you.
That I've seen since in my lifetime, seen them, whether I chopped one off its head with a shovel,
Killer.
had to, I think they're venomous.
Rattlesnake's not a good snake.
Or just shoot them in the head with a 22, basically.
See, you're in prime territory up there. You know,
Mountain
they used
rattlers
to
are no joke.
hike up to the top of Signal Knob over there.
Yeah,
I stepped over one in a damn dry creek bed.
Oh, you
So I stepped over Copperhead not knowing it until the last minute.
did.
Well, Copperhead,
I've
I'm
done
not
that,
that
and
worried
I'm-
about.
and I'm telling you, I've done that twice.
And you
Twice.
realize what you did afterwards.
And you want to talk about somebody, I can tell you, ladies,
Yeah.
you want to see somebody who broke the record sound barrier? I did.
You're like, ah,
I tried to get him.
No, I'm
out
not talking
of it.
about screaming. I'm talking about that's how fast I was running.
you're
And
going.
I broke the sound
He's probably that
barrier.
way with a little garter snake.
Oh, the black
No,
snakes?
it was- it was
The garden
a
snakes are-
copperhead. I know the difference between a copperhead. And I mean, I was sitting there walking down the street. I was right down here when I was a kid
Mm-hmm.
on Branch Street, walking across
Right,
that bridge,
right.
that little bridgeway on the bottom here.
Oh, that was a daggone water snake.
It was
Ah,
not.
whatever, that's just old water
And as
snake.
I'm walking,
That's just old damn water
whatever,
snake.
that's whatever he said.
Oh,
But he saw it.
my God.
And as I'm walking, as I'm looking between, because you know how kids are, you just blah, blah, blah. And as I'm walking, I just
Right.
look down
You see
and
it.
right between my.
Is a damn night crawler.
A night crawler.
Yeah. Something's running scared.
Looked like Shaggy on Scooby-Doo running away.
Which,
Basically,
by the way, have you ever taken a picture of look at Dirk Nowitzki?
he looks like Shaggy.
Thank you.
He does. Actually, I just see his picture compared to Shaggy. If we
Yeah.
bring it up on the Teletron here. it
Dirk
actually looks
Nowitzki
exactly-
looks just like Shaggy. I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, my
Leave
God.
that poor guy alone.
No, why? I like
Little
it.
Shaggy.
Dallas Mavericks great.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I like him. I think he's cool.
Doesn't he look like Shaggy? Yeah. Look at him.
He's
If he was a cartoon AI form, he'd look just like Shaggy.
Reggie,
You know?
Reggie. Go, Scoob.
Got any sandwiches?
I'm hungry, Scoob. Really?
Sandwiches without lettuce or tomato, please.
Look at this picture here.
I mean, I'm just saying, if anybody watches basketball, you realize
Right.
Dirk Nowitzki looks like Shaggy.
Yeah, it's the teeth, I think.
It's the whole look,
The whole look.
the
Every-
beard, the whole. I'm
the
waiting
shape
for him
of
to
the
walk.
face,
The,
the
you know,
hair.
they're gonna walk when, even when he walk through.
Yeah.
You actually watch him walk through the locker room sometimes when they going through that walk
Yeah,
that
he's
Shaggy
like that.
had. I was waiting to see him with a great name by his side, and then make it all picture perfect for me. I'm just saying.
He
You
does.
asked the question.
Yeah, he
I'm
does.
just giving
I
you
know.
an answer.
Yeah,
You know, if you don't want to hear it, don't ask the question.
to a point. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Like read this one here? Yes.
They're watching porn.
No, I'm taking a picture of Shaggy.
You take the picture of Shaggy with Dirt and
That,
Biscuit.
yeah, they're younger,
That's-
younger Dirk when he was
Yeah.
shaggy hair, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. This one, the older version.
And
Like
so
this one,
back to the subject.
Okay,
ladies and
that
gentlemen.
one, yes.
oh, yeah.
All right.
Sorry, we got off track. We get that.
All
away
right. So
from
the
that.
$4 million buyout. I mean, I would take that. You know, but like we said, there could be more data centers.
So
How many
can
data
I ask
centers
you
do
a
they already
question?
have right now? They must have.
So
They have.
can- I mean,
That's
I got to
all
play
covered.
devil's advocate here, okay?
Right.
So you say you would take that.
Mhm.
So how much are you worth? How much can somebody buy you for?
Well, that's a good question. You know,
Boy, you really got to think about that one too, don't you?
you know, I was thinking low numbers and then high numbers. So I mean, you got to meet in the middle.
It's the process that you're even thinking about it.
I am thinking about it right now. Why?
In other words, you could be bought.
I'm just saying, if it was like a couple million or something like that, maybe. I know I'm retired. I'm just done. Wait, wouldn't you? If someone knocked on your door and said 4 million for your house,
Oh, yeah, it's,
I'm out.
yeah,
you have to
you
take
can
it.
have all the contents too. I mean, I'm
I'd
leaving
start all
everything
over.
behind.
I'd start over.
I'm taking my 3 cars and my PlayStation. Everything else
Yes.
can stay.
You
I'll
got the
take the
real
TV
estate
too.
picture, but I'm getting to the big picture.
Oh, I see. With personal, okay, with emotional, okay.
I mean, I think any of us with common sense, if we knew if you know somebody wanted to buy the house for 4-something million or something like that, most of us are going to take it.
Yeah, all of us
I
would.
mean, because we know even if you live humbly, if you do it right and don't make it rain in all the strip clubs like a lot of people do,
Yeah, just
you're set. Okay,
if you invest it wisely, you're
right?
good.
You're
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
So, I mean, somebody buying out, that's one thing, but what are they buying it out for?
That's
That's the question.
Yeah.
That is
that's
the
the
big.
sinister thing about it. More condos for 800,000.
I don't
2.4
think that they would buy out shit like that to put condos up. It has to be,
Data centers.
it's gotta be data centers or,
Well, if you look up how many data centers they have already in Northern Virginia, I mean, that's a question. I mean,
Why would we need to know how many?
and there's
data
gotta
centers
be,
they got?
I think that's the most in the country or the most in the eastern seaboard.
Right.
Um,
in Loudoun County alone,
200?
200
There's already
as of
200 there.
2025. 45 to 50 million square foot of data center
Data center
space.
alley, so,
Roughly 70% of the world's internet traffic passes through that area.
oh my God. 70% of the traffic, that's,
Data centers contribute over 80 million annually to the county's tax revenue, whatever.
Okay, so if you want to know how many, Virginia has over 660 operational data centers,
right.
with nearly 600 more under construction or planned,
Do you think we'll see them out here in these towns?
I hope the hell not.
It's coming, it's coming.
making Virginia the largest data center hub in the U.S.
Dude, it pissed me off when I was coming home from West Virginia and I passed that big solar farm off right there on the side of 81.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
Just think of how much water
It's
water
one thing
these
if
consume.
it's one thing if the farmer is using that to power his business,
Yeah,
but he don't need 25 acres of that shit to
If you-
power his farm. You know,
If
so
you-
you know that
yeah.
that's he leased that land out probably to them to come
To
in
the
and put
electric company.
Yeah, to come in and put
He's
solar
getting a
panels
kickback
on
from
it.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I do
But-
know solar panels do have its positives.
no, they do have, but at a minimal, like with heat,
Yeah.
like with.
No, I
heat
get what
brought
you're
up.
saying. I mean, I'm
If
just,
it's enough to run your whatever it is to that point, you don't need acres and acres of it. I agree with that. Yes.
yeah. And that's the thing, because when you were talking about this, because I got it pulled up, Virginia is the leading state in the U.S., like you said, for the data center infrastructure. So with 663 operational data centers, 595 additional facilities, that's 595 additional facilities under construction or planned as of early
It's coming out here.
2026
You know they're
this
gonna start putting
year.
it out here.
We don't need it here. All it does is suck fucking water.
That's what I'm saying. We don't. There's a water crisis already.
Most of these centers
So-
are concentrated in northern Virginia, particularly in the Ashburn area,
Right.
which is, that's where
Yeah.
all that's at. And that's often referred to, like you said, data center alley, so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what's going on.
I mean, it seems like half the people around here, well, we got the reservoir up on the mountain. That's like a day's worth of water for everybody.
Exactly. That's
That
not-
reservoir is what, 3 foot deep at the deepest? You know, I mean, shit, it's not a damn lake.
Yeah. It's not like it's.
It's not
Lake
like
Tahoe.
it's,
It's
yeah,
not Lake Tahoe.
it's not
I mean,
deep.
It's not. But I mean, God forbid if they start bringing those to this area, these counties out here.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It's
Well,
bad news.
think about it. There was a time growing up, and I mean, I know I'm reflecting back on the past, and people say, "Would you get out of the past, you know, live in the present?" But you got to understand where I'm coming from. Also, just like with all these buildings we got here now in Strasburg, and with the junction being built up there, A lot of people don't realize the junction took water flow that came through here. There used to be a stream that came all the way through this area. It's dried up now. The only time it's actually bad is when we get a flood. And when that floods, it comes down rapidly. Before, it used to just be just a straight
Is there
stream.
one
And
in front of
even
your
when,
house over here?
huh?
Is there
No,
one out
right
your
down
front
here.
door? At your front door, that one comes up? Okay.
No, right down here.
Right down here,
Yeah.
okay.
And the thing is, once you started building, the one thing I found was, one thing I never had was a bear go through my trash. Guess what?
Now,
Now I've had bear come through my trash. One thing I've never had was deer in my yard.
because I'm looking for,
Now I can look out the window sometimes and I mean, I had one trapped in I had a whole herd of deer basically trapped in
Trapped
my
in your
yard,
yard, yeah.
and they had to find their way back over the fence.
yeah.
See what I'm saying? So we take the
Yeah.
more buildings, things happen, the more migration or what you want to call it when people commute and stuff like that.
Yeah.
City folks want to get out of the city and they come to the country. Well,
And
guess
what do
what?
they want? Oh, well, there ain't nothing here. We need this, and this. And they complain about it being down here. Just go to hell back up there.
Yeah.
You know, the best thing I can actually say is one of my cousins, when I talked to him one time about this, and he's in the city, he was from the city, and one thing he used to always say, he would tell me when he'd come down. I'm just like, you didn't say you were down here this week or so week, and you didn't. He said, you don't understand. I didn't come to see anybody. I come to go through the mountains, to take the view, get the peace and quiet. You see, he actually understood what, you know,
What we see every day.
what we see. He didn't take that for granted. Where they were just saying, well, you ain't got nothing down here. Well, you moved down here because you got tired of the hustle and bustle. So if you go to some place that you're tired of because of all the hustle and bustle, you say, I want peace and quiet. You get to a place where there's peace and quiet. Why do you want to disturb that peace and quiet? Why? You go back to where you had the hustle and bustle if you didn't like it.
Yeah.
See, because some people are acclimated to that.
Yeah.
Seriously. Some people, you know, one thing I've learned is, and this was a statement I heard a lady say in church, but it's so true. We are addicted to noise. We are. We're addicted to noise. We're addicted to something having to happen.
That's like if they took everyone or whoever it is and put them in a soundproof room, we would go crazy. Because
I believe,
if we were in a room where it was soundproof, nothing,
Well,
no nothing.
If you're in isolation, yeah.
Yeah,
If you're in there with a group of people or
But
two
after a
people,
while-
you'll be fine.
but if you just move around, it's like I'm used to looking at my phone or whatever, and I'm used to doing this, and it's like our habits.
but do you see that function though?
Yeah,
The repetitive functions that we do, we've been so programmed, and you see that function of how we do things. And the bad part is, we've made not only the phones and entertainment part of our life, we've made it a mainstream that we have to have.
that's like when I wake up in the morning. You know, sometimes we're all guilty of this. We just first thing we reach is this. You know,
We either reach for that or the remote control to the
to the
TV.
TV. Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. And to be quite honest, I said this statement years ago because literally, I recall the conscious feeling I had. I was looking for the remote control. I woke up one morning, I was looking for the remote control. Of course, you know, you fall asleep within the bed, it tosses and turns, you don't know where it's at.
Yep.
You have a bunch of covers, you gotta look through all that and stuff like that. And I literally remember hearing this, it was almost like y'all talking to me right now and y'all can hear it as audible. I wish people read the Bible as well and look for me in the Bible as much as they look for their remotes and their phones.
Well, and that too, and it gets you away from doing things you're supposed to do, whether it's outside work or things to tidy up around the house.
Yes.
Clean the house, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Take care of your belongings, you know. things that occupy your time better than that.
We have gotten so preoccupied with everything outside. One thing I have to say, my job asked this question the other day. What is important to you? What is more important to you? Now, most everybody says life. You know, that's important to me, life. Yes, that's it. Mine was God and family, you know. And the reason I say that is because that help, family's got to come first. Family has got to come first.
Right.
You know, I say God and family, but when I say that, I mean it all in one.
Right.
Because if he's a part of your life and you have a family,
Right.
he should be put first to lead the family. So,
And if you
God and
have
family.
those two attributes, then why worry?
right, and that's why.
You know, and it's a lot of people worrying about stuff that.
That's why I don't worry about a lot of
Yeah.
stuff that's going on in
So,
today's world.
Yeah.
Because I know where everything is with me. I know where my mind is now. Sometimes, well, not all the time, but
Yeah.
most of the
Right.
time I know where my mind's at. But I mean, when we really look at some of the things and you talk about it,
Uh-huh.
you're buying all the property up. Are you willing to do that? You willing to sell yourself for that?
But then if
For
you
the
do
data
that,
centers that they do,
if you do that, and then you look at what you made,
look.
look at what happened.
The
with
big picture is ownership, and once again, follow the money and where it's going.
Yeah.
What is everybody
They can
doing?
just take Ford Valley and just make that data center valley over there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, and it keeps it out of Strasburg.
Well, there's only one, basically. I mean, honestly, the thing is with that, all the water comes in from, and that's a crazy but true. That could happen in hundreds of years from now.
Craig, you sent the pictures last year, the year before, when that big storm come through, all the water
With
running
all
through
the
your
water I had.
property.
Did you see
Yeah.
all the water I sent you?
Yeah.
It was just like a monsoon.
That was that storm last year, just blew through where we didn't get nothing.
Yeah.
It rained like hell
I
over
had
there in Fort
darkness over
Valley. Yeah,
I
we
texted
didn't
you
get
guys, and you
nothing.
guys, I have sunshine. I'm
Yeah,
like,
we were clear. We were free. That was when you were flooded too,
It was
wasn't
in the
it?
middle of the summer, and I was flooded.
Yeah,
I
you were
couldn't-
flooded
I couldn't
then. We
get
were
out.
clear, just like man, get your paddle boat or something.
It was bad.
That's when your basement was underwater.
I showed you the picture. It was like
Yeah.
3 feet, 4 feet in there, and it was just,
It's in tight.
it was in tight.
Yes. And so, you know, I want to talk about something here. I got to get this through because I did enjoy it. Morgan Beechler, I enjoyed your commercial there that you did the other day. I seen your thing on Facebook and I enjoyed that. And so I'm going to talk about that. You know, if you're looking to get married, check out the Valley Bride at Shawnee Drive, Suite 4, 3018 Shawnee Drive, Suite 4 in Winchester, Virginia. If you're going to get married, you have to understand, right now, Morgan, she is by appointment only, but you can find her on Facebook and Instagram. She did an actual, little thing
I'll have to look
yesterday.
that up. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually good. I actually liked it. She was talking to a mannequin, though. I like the way she did that.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of, the
Right.
movie. What was the movie, man?
Mannequin, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
you know,
right.
that's where it came
Kim
down. I was just like,
Cattrall,
wow,
yeah.
she did that. And I
Oh,
was just
great
like,
movie.
that's pretty cool. And you can contact Morgan at the Valley Bride at this number, 540-664-7580. That is 540-664-7580. Why do you always show him stuff and leave me out of the
Because
picture?
you're in the middle of talking.
I was,
You know,
we have a local listener that's saying, talking about the war this morning.
we're getting there, believe me.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that war.
We're
this
getting to
morning, too.
all the stuff, believe me.
Uh,
There is a segment coming up called the Perceptions or Perspective of a Mad Genius.
Right.
So if you're watching the program, all this stuff will tie in together that we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, we're
Believe
moving
me.
more around.
So we're getting boots on the ground overseas, what it looks like right now.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Trust me, we'll get to that.
Unfortunately, that's what's
Because
going on.
there's a lot of other things. Because earlier I was talking about something. I want to get to this because as we're as we're seen to be heading down this morality code here, there was something that I was talking about earlier today with Jason Whitlock, Cam Newton, Stephen A. Smith, Ryan Clark, and a host of others who want to jump on the bandwagon. And the reason I say this is because Cam Newton and Jason Whitlock had beef. Okay, they had a little dispute.
Right.
Jason Whitlock never said he hated Cam Newton. He just disliked Cam
His
Newton the
his-
way, you know, he
his
figured
antics.
Cam Newton, he always liked his playing style, that kind of stuff. He thought Cam Newton could be great, and he thought he veered off. Okay? We've all taken our shots at people like that. You know, I've taken my shots at Cam Newton too, because I believe he should have jumped on football.
Yeah.
Never said he's not a great player.
Right.
That's just criticizing his football play.
So Peyton
Well-
Manning would have never won that Super Bowl if he would have jumped on the
I
ball.
believe so. That's just my thought. That's not saying that would have
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Just
we
my
never
thought.
know.
There's a lot of things that happen in history that if it could have changed, we might have changed the outcome. But anyway, when we talk about it, I said they had an issue, but two grown men. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm just saying, with Cam Newton and his style, I can see where it would rub people the wrong way.
Well, Jason Whitlock is a different kind of news guy.
But
Okay.
Whitlock's perspective is really good, and I think it hits home with people that makes them like think twice about why you are backing this person. Is it really worth it to back this person and his opinions, or should you have another opinion about it, like from a morality standpoint, like what you're bringing up?
Well, that's the whole thing.
So
You know, what Whitlock and Cam Newton were going through,
Yeah.
like I remember that, and I remember what Whitlock and
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith. Look, they just don't like each other. Whitlock and Smith just don't like each other. And the thing is, Cam Newton wanted to hash out, Jason, what's going on between me and you. And so the best way that he figured to do it, come on my platform. Let's talk about it.
yeah,
That's two grown men
mm,
hashing out a problem.
yeah,
They had a solution. In order to deal with the solution, we've got to talk about it.
yeah,
We got to hash out the situation. Now, in the process of that, they talked about everything. Now, this is Cam's show. He is doing an interview.
Right.
He is letting the guy speak. He asked about why do you dislike Stephen A. Smith? Jason Whitlock did everything. He basically said, I don't want to talk about that. You know, he was being nice to Cam because it was Cam. He knows those two work together. Okay?
Yeah.
That's trying to be respectful.
mhm,
I don't want to get you in, because of something I may say,
yeah,
get you hemmed
Right.
up. But Cam was a man. He ain't got no puppet strings up his back. Basically,
right,
you speak your truth. You speak what you know. It's a program. This is what an interview does. You speak. If I'm interviewing you and I'm asking you a question and you don't like BJ because BJ's not here, I mean, I'm just saying. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
got
I
beef and I'm in it. And
yeah.
it's not right for him to sit
Right,
there
it's
and
not fair
say,
to him, yeah.
especially if I give him a fair opportunity to
Right.
rebuttal back. It's not for your friend or something to come. Why'd you have BJ on there?
Yeah,
You know, it's not for that. Because the whole concept
Right.
is, hold up, I'm trying to get, if we're doing an interview like this and the public is looking, we want to know what was the issue. I'm trying to get to what the issue was.
right,
And that's what he did. Well, then, of course, Stephen A. Smith claps back. Of course, he has to. About, why would you, I don't think he was so much on Cam, it was just more or less still stressing his view about how he just disliked Whitlock. But when you hear people like Ryan Clark come in, and then Emmanuel Acho come in and say that basically Cam Newton was a traitor, where are your morals at, guys?
they're just stirring the pot, that's all they're doing.
Exactly.
So,
It goes to show you that they're puppets, that they're
Yeah.
plants, that they're people being installed in
Right.
positions that they have no need to be in it.
right. So, a viewer said, let's talk about the war, what's going on. Okay. It's escalating, I think. Our gas has come down a little bit, maybe 10, 15 cents. It's not over 4, it's below 4 now. I had 379 the other day. So. But anyways, we're starting to get boots on the ground a little bit. That's not a good sign. And the Strait of Hamas, whatever it is, right? I think that's the whole big get up with what's going on right now, right? The Strait.
I don't know really what is the backing behind it. Is it nuclear?
There's got to be.
Was Iran,
yeah.
Trying to produce nuclear weapons or whatever?
If they were, then that's good that we eradicated that. Yes.
But is it something we should have got involved in? Was this originally between Israel and Iran, and we're just putting our nose in? I don't know.
Or we were
I
dragged into it. We were dragged into it.
I haven't dove into it because I'm going to support the decision our U.S. military makes
Yeah.
either way. If they're being sent in,
Yeah, us as
the only thing I
Americans.
say is don't make it a repeat of Iraq. Don't go in. Don't stop. If you're going to do it,
Yeah.
go in and do it all the way.
Finish it, basically. Yeah.
Don't go in and then just pull out and have
Like Afghanistan.
when you decide
Yeah.
that, which one was it, Biden that just pulled it and
Biden,
left everything
Afghanistan,
behind,
all
left all our
tanks
shit
and-
behind.
Yeah, left
Yeah,
it for them.
if you're gonna do it, go in and do it right.
Right.
I mean, if we're gonna get involved and don't do anything half.
Yeah, finish the job. Yeah.
Who is the viewer?
Huh?
What was their opinion on
I was just told that they wanted us to bring it up.
Ask him what his opinions are.
Okay,
I'd like to know that.
so I'm gonna ask the viewer now what their opinions are.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm listening here and I'm taking it all in because my views may be different. No, they are different. There ain't not a difference about it. My views are totally different about it because
Okay.
I see things in a different light.
Yeah,
And
but there's that light. I know you're actually having me to see that perspective a lot more. That's why I look at memes and I send you stuff that are like, okay, this is kind of fishy.
But I don't know who struck first, and I don't know what it's about. You know what I'm saying? I haven't
Or did
dove into it to see.
Or did we strike first before we had another 9/11 event
if
here?
anybody's keeping track, do you realize that Joe Kent resigned? You know who Kent was?
Yeah, he was a former Bills quarterback, right? Was that the Joe? Was it Joe? What was his name? I'm sorry. Wasn't he a Bills quarterback? Not Jim Kelly, but the one before him.
I might have got the name wrong because I don't know what's wrong with you, man. I really don't know what's wrong with you.
No, if you look it up, there was a he was a former
I'm
Bills
sorry,
quarterback,
man.
and he was a congressman. I know I've heard that somewhere.
I mean, good gracious. I'm just saying, you.
No, I know it. It just a premonition just came to me. It was like a mental patient, and like when they get a revelation. Okay, Joe Kent. Yes, wasn't he a former Bills quarterback?
Counterterrorism.
Oh,
Joe Kent, the
so he
former
resigned
director of
as a
National
counterterrorism
Terrorism.
center, the agent, right?
Yes, you realize he just resigned, right? You know why he resigned?
Because
It's right here. I'm reading it right here. Can you
okay,
really want me
I
to
read it too. That's it.
So now I'm going to, since you've already brought me into this, Ben, I'm going to
Okay.
give everybody the perspective of a mad genius, and we'll start with
Okay.
Joe Kent, okay? So since we're going about this, you wanted to talk about the war, we're going to go with it. The views and the expressions used here,
So did he
Oh, my
retire
views.
because of medical reasons?
No.
Or what? No. Okay.
understand something. I'm going to read some of Joe Kent, the former director of the National Counterterrorism Center,
Pursue other interests.
resigned from his position amid controversy over U.S. war in Iran. Kent's resignation letter criticized the administration's decision to wage war on Iran, stating that the country posed no imminent threat to the U.S. and that the conflict was driven by pressure from Israel and its American lobby.
So we were dragged into it.
Thank you.
Okay.
His departure marks a significant moment in the Trump's administration counterterrorism efforts, as he's one of the highest level officials to publicly dissent from the administration's stance on the Iran war.
Okay, so the,
Not finished yet. Understand something. There's a reason why Joe Kent, his wife, was also a military person, and she was killed in operation a few years ago.
yeah, Cloak and Dagger, yeah, Operation Cloak and Dagger.
And so you got to understand, he's seeing
Yeah.
women and children or people losing their loved ones in a war that's unnecessary.
So his morality, like we just brought, the biggest thing, morality, made him say, I have had enough of this, I'm out.
I don't think it's much of that. I think well, yes, if you want to look at it,
If
but
you're at a higher ranking official and you see stuff going on, that's like, okay, this is nuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that are going on that we are seeing in our lifetime right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing both sides of the fence, from
So-
Republicans to Democrats,
Right,
play on stage.
right.
You're seeing world leaders play on stage.
That's his opinion at that point, so I'm playing both sides here. So basically, the reason why is we had to get some of this terrorism, they were funding a lot of terrorism, correct?
Who
The-
was funding
The
terrorism?
Iranian country. They were like a yellow jacket.
Can I ask a question? This is not to be, but I got a question to ask.
Right.
What countries have let off nuclear or atomic bombs?
I mean, when was the last time one was?
What countries have done it?
I mean, Russia is involved, right?
No, what countries have actually used atomic weapons?
U.S. has.
Can you name another?
Hiroshima, right? Nagasaki.
Can you name another?
I can't really, nothing really.
No, you can't. You know why? Because we're the only ones who ever done it.
Okay.
Okay? We're the only ones who've ever done it. Everybody talks it. Okay? And that's
Yeah.
not a bad thing. I'm just
No,
saying.
but-
Everybody talks it. We're the only ones who's actually ever done it.
Okay.
Okay? Now, you take that into consideration. Now, you take what's going on in the Middle East right now,
Right.
which is a bullcrap name. Because there's no Middle West, there's no Middle South, there's no Middle North.
If we had a middle
Bullcrap,
south,
there's none.
middle
It's,
south,
it's Africa, okay?
middle south is Africa.
It's actually in the old maps, you actually see what it
Yemen
is.
and stuff is south, right?
So, because if we got North America and South America, we're Central America. They got all
If they
this,
did have
but yet
if they had those aspects of the north, south, east, and west, we'd have a.
But
maybe they
anyway,
would have, like-
that's going down another rabbit
Okay,
hole.
okay, yeah.
But still, when you look at all that stuff that has happened, going overseas, all these leaders, all this stuff, what do you think of you? You think we're the only ones who ever let off a bomb?
Yeah, well, we're just showing our
What-
cojones, you know?
Okay, when we went into, I believe it was Iraq with weapons of mass
Right,
destruction,
right.
we found there was no weapons of mass destruction. That was all ruse.
Okay.
Okay? There's a lot of things that has happened that we're finding out, and I'm not saying this, what I'm saying is, I believe America is one of the greatest countries to ever live in.
Yes.
But
yeah.
what I'm also seeing is, our presidents
Mhm.
have been compromised. Our government has been compromised.
By other influences.
Yes,
Okay.
they've been compromised. Think about it. What was the need? This is what he is saying is what was the need of going into a war that Israel wanted this war. We didn't.
It's money making. Wars are money making.
Exactly. Get the big picture. I've
Yeah.
always said it, say it time and time again, follow the money, follow the money, follow
There
the
we
money.
go. That's it. Yep.
Because war keeps it interesting, but if you really think about it, ask yourself this question now.
Or is it to deflect from something else?
Yes, because my
Yes.
question is this, and this is a strike again because, like I said, I believe Republicans and Democrats are both different wings off the same bird, both a broken system. Okay, but let me ask this question now. You ran on a campaign saying we're not going to send our troops into harm's way anymore.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
that's not our fight. So why would our troops being put in harm's way? Because Israel's actually asking, send your troops over.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be different if it was our president saying this. No, we got another president telling our
Right,
president,
right.
we need you to send your troops over, not ours.
Yeah.
So that's where I got a problem. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
Because who's running this country?
Yeah, good question.
Person put this
So-
post up on Facebook. When do we become Israel's bitch?
Mm.
Ask yourself that question. When do we become Israel's bitch? Because they're pounding us every which way. We're all upside down and not even leaving lube. And a lot of people are accepting it.
Mm.